Hey guys, welcome back. So I have more fall pots to plant up today, and they're the pots that are on my back deck here, and I keep flowers in them. Well, last year I did. The last 2 years I have kept potted flowers back here, some pansies with some other things, and it's been really fun. They last really well until about mid-January, and then they start to get kind of sad looking, and then they start to perk up again a couple months later. So it's worth it to me because even in December there's flowers out here and it just makes me happy. So let me show you what I have going on back here. So these need to be watered, I can tell. I haven't watered for a few days because it was really rainy, and then I turned it off because it was really dripping down here. So I have these hanging baskets here, and what I do is I put these pots underneath to catch the drip from these so they don't ruin my deck. I've done that for the last 3 years and it's done pretty good. I feel like when I go out of town, I always have some sort of issue, and usually it's they're overflowing or they're not doing enough, and when they overflow they do kind of make a little bit of a mess. So it's not like 100% foolproof, but it does a good job, and I love these hanging baskets here. It's a glorious 80-degree day today, and I'm actually ready for it to cool off. I think this is going to be the last 80-degree day that we have, and hopefully it'll be more in the 70s and 60s as we go through October. But we have these here. I originally planted these Mini Vista in the spring and you can see with the fluctuation in water, these really don't do that great. Dusty Miller I have found to be the best in here. It kind of lasts through periods of dryness or periods of too much, and this one's a little bit dry, you can see. I've had a few other things in there. I can't even remember what I had in there, but I've replaced it since. I threw in this probably about a month ago just because they were on clearance and super cheap, and I thought I'm just going to put something in there. That's the Royal Velvet Super Tunia, and it's done okay, but it's the end of the season, so it's not that great. So I'm going to take all these pots off, and then I have these trays. I'm going to spray them and clean them up real nice because it's the end of the season, and now that I'm home all the time I can control the water a little bit better, and I'm not going out of town as much, and so I can keep my eyes on things. I am going to come and just spray the deck. This one stayed pretty good, as you can see. Sorry, the lighting's not the best, but this is the time of day that I could film. Look at these, so pretty. This one, as you can see, I need to adjust because it's letting out too much water, and then this is sitting in water, but look how good that Dusty Miller looks. But I am going to take that out. I'm going to have some other things in here. Now that I'm looking at the pots, what I have is going to be pretty tight, but we're still going to go for it anyway. So I'm going to take this off. This is the one that I just had dripping issues with, and I'm going to try to come clean off the railing too because it kind of makes a mess. My husband doesn't love that, but I don't know what else to do, and I really, really, really love the hanging baskets out here. I think they add a lot because, let me try to get in some shade. This is so tall up here, and I just feel like I need something just to fill out this area, so they're really nice. I do have plans eventually, hopefully next spring, to put some lights out here that hang down and just make this area a little more fun. Maybe I'll do that next year. I always kind of run out of money. And then here's this taller one. I got these at Target. They've lasted pretty good. I'm not going to paint them right now, but I feel like next season, if I use them again, I'll probably paint them just to make them look a little better. And this one probably got a little bit too much water too, so I'm going to spray and clean that off. Spray off the deck really good, and hopefully get it looking a little nicer. Clean this railing, yeah, just looks kind of messy. So we're gonna do that. I didn't anticipate cleaning the railing, but I think I'm going to. So I'm gonna haul these down, and let me show you what plants I have to pot in them. I like to bring them down here on this landing just because it's easier to clean up the mess down here than it is up there. My shoes got soaking wet this morning with a messy project that I have, and so they're kind of laying out to dry. But here's what I have. So I had this extra cabbage, so I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I don't know what to do with that, but this is what I have planned. So I have this gorgeous heuchera. I looked up some plants that have foliage that lasts through the winter, and this is one of those plants. So I usually try to plant this in the fall as one of my plants, and there's so many different colors. I kind of went back and forth between doing like a brighter green or something dark, but I wanted something a little bit moody, and so I went with the dressed up evening gown, and I've used these all throughout my pots for fall, and they do get a little sad and droopy come January, but they still have a little color, but they're really great plants. And then of course I'm going to plant up some pansies in them, because the pansies will bloom and last and look really good till about mid-January, and then they kind of get a little sad, and then they perk up back in the spring and come back twice their size. So they're just perfect. I absolutely love pansies, and this was a fun variety that I thought would go good for spring and fall. This is the Matrix Rose Wing. And then I wanted something that was going to make it a little brighter, and I thought these were so cute, and I thought that looked cute together. And these are a little bit more spring. I love violas. I mean, look at the detail on that, and it's just such a tiny little flower. I love them, so I thought I'd pop some of this in there too, and that looks really good with that dark foliage. And then I wanted some dark green, and sedum is also a great choice for foliage that's going to last all winter. So I picked this John Creech sedum, and it's really cute. So there's also a purple one that I really liked, but I like this bright green, so I'll put that in there too. And then I kind of also wanted something that was more grassy texture, or just something a little bit different than the heuchera, which I typically do. And I looked at the liriope foliage last, but I don't know if that's true or not. And the lady at the garden center didn't think that would be a good option. I think they do die back. I'm not sure. I have some in my forest bed, so I'll pay attention to that this winter. But that might be a good option, and it looked really, really pretty. Lirirope, liriope, I know people pronounce it different. So maybe I'll do that next year if I feel like the foliage lasts through the winter. And then they had little tiny dwarf boxwoods. They were like really small, and I thought that would be cute, but they looked kind of dried out and they weren't in the best condition. But that would be so cute to have like the tiniest little boxwood in there, but I didn't do that. And then she suggested this other plant, and so I'm going to turn this around and show you. I thought this grassy texture would be so pretty, and I love the dark green. They do have these little like blooms on them. I think they've already bloomed. She said they'll stay this green, and I like how they're that blue tone, and they're kind of fun. And these are the elk blue juncus, and I haven't really heard of these. And what I like about these is they like full sun, part shade. They'll be perfect. They bloom late summer, so they've already been through their bloom, and they get 3x3. And so I can plop these down by the creek. I think this can take damp soil, and I have a few spots in my yard that are really troublesome, that just seem to always stay wet, and so I'll probably move these there when I'm done. So I'm going to try these out this year, see how they go, and I just think that's a fun combination, a little bit different. And so I'll plant all the pots up with these, each one similar, and then put them back and get it all cleaned up, and that would be just so fun to have through the winter. Okay, that looks much better. I decided to just use lime away because I had that, probably not the best, but it was only on there for a minute and it cleaned it up pretty good. I mean, it was a bunch of calcium and minerals that were built up, so I thought it'd be perfect. And it looks so much better. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did it before because this will give this a chance to dry out while I'm potting up. And then as soon as this is fully dry, I'll come in and put those pots down after I'm done potting them, and it just looks fresh and clean. I'm all about cleaning the space as I'm planting, just making everything look really nice. And then that way, every time I'm in a little area, it just looks nice and I leave it nice. And that's how I just keep up with everything. So I'm happy I just got that done. And out of the way very first thing. And now I'm gonna pot, even though it's taking a little longer than I thought it would, but these pots shouldn't take too long. So let's go pot these up. And I found that this hose link, I have this hose here, which I love because it's light and easy up here on this deck, but the power is just, I mean, the hose diameter's like this big, and the hose link is just more powerful, and it has that jet setting where I could almost pressure wash the base of it and get a lot of that off. But you can see here, like, this was pretty brown. You can see some of the brown here, but I mean, I got it really clean. It looks so much better. And then there was a bunch of calcium built up along the base of these railings. So love the hose link. I drug it up here and it's nice. It reaches so many different directions because it pivots on that. But it's one of my favorite garden things. I hate fighting with hoses. It's like the thing that makes me the most cranky. Okay, so down here I have these. I'm going to use that pressure washer to clean all this off too. And then we'll take this dirt out and pot it up and freshen these up just a little bit. Okay, I got those planted up. They're going to be really nice, I think. And I love the combo. So we'll give it a test, see how it goes, see how long I get color, and I'll keep you guys updated with these, and I'll make sure to keep up on the watering. When I plant these pots, I like to really soak them and then let them drain out here. And then later this evening, I'll move them up and show them to you up on the deck, but I'm just going to let that dry out today. And then these are looking a little waterlogged, but I came in, I thought that sedum would look really nice in here. I planted these up this morning actually, and I wanted some little bits trailing, so those sedums look really cute in there. And then I had that leftover cabbage, didn't know what to do with it, just stuck it right there in the ground. But I think this is really cute. If you haven't seen that video, go see it. Love this new addition, adorable. So we'll be back in a few minutes to let all this dry. So we'll be back this evening, let this dry out, and then finish up the project. So it's the next morning. We got busy last night and didn't go home till late, so I didn't have a chance to get the pots out here. But look how good the floor looks here. Some staining, of course, but not as bad as I thought. I do want to read on how to clean that up, but the railing looks so much better. This one's a little messier. So yeah, I need to read how to really clean this good. But let's bring our pots up here now. It's a gorgeous day. It's gonna rain all night. and all day tomorrow. So I've been going around trying to clean up a few things that I had out and just getting ready for the rain. So nice. It's definitely feeling like fall, and I could not be happier. You got your toy, Piper? The porch pots are all done, and I'm really happy with them. They are a little moody. It's a little dark out here, so hopefully you guys can see, but there is some color. But that's what I wanted, something kind of moody, something that could go into spring but also look good for fall, and that will give me color throughout the winter. So the sedum, the pansies, the coral bells, or heuchera, and then what's this called again? I'll put the name on it, the screen, because I can't remember, but I think those look good, and I put this towards the back so this could get a little more sunlight. The sun rises here, so we get plenty of sunshine all throughout the day. So this is a good spot back here for these. And then over here, oh, look how vibrant everything is. I love it. And this one's so pretty. Look at these. Ah, love it. Need to turn this one a little bit, huh? I'm gonna turn it like this. And this one, it's got a little pansy peeking through. I did try to pinch back a few of these heuchera just to give it a little bit of chance to come out towards the sun. So pretty. And then out here I don't have too many fall things. I have this fiddle leaf fig that I brought out here a couple months ago, and then just a mom that I had left over from the baby shower that I did, and another one over here that's pretty much done blooming, and then one little jack-o'-lantern. So nothing too exciting out here. Next year I hope to really deck this out and make it really cute. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. And it's such a beautiful day with a nip in the air, so it just feels like fall. And the leaves, we're just getting a little bit of change. Look how pretty that pink and orange is. Love it. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.